This is a railway story based on a childhood TV show I like to watch. It's but instead of Thomas the Tank Engine, it's about his grandson Tiago. When he and his cousins go on an adventure after a little incident. Find out as I read this story, The Steam Engine Kids. Let's begin now. There was great excitement on Sodor as Tam was heading for the sheds where the other engines were waiting outside. They were going to be parents. Some of them were a little nervous. Are all times fathers this nervous? Said Edwin. Don't worry yourself. It will be fine, said John. Then it was time to see their newborn babies being born. As the male engines walked into the sheds, knowing that they were going to become a father. Inside the shed, using puff and steam, Tam formed a little baby steam engine child, a little baby tank engine with a little tiny funnel, and eyes that were just as beautiful as his mother's. How about Tiago? Said Tam. I think that's a fine name, said his wife Lydia, looking down at her newborn baby. Far away on another part of the island, a man named Theodore Slim was planning to outwit steam engines. You see, Theodore Slim was a man who once stole one of Sir Topham Hatt's engines, and he was arrested, but then he got broken out of jail. One of the men at the diesel works had heard about the news, and he told it to Theodore Slim. Very good. That's perfect for my plan, he grinned. Years went by, and the steam engine kids have gotten bigger every day, and the day came for the engines to take them to the steamworks so they can get their new coats, so they would match the colors of their parents. At the steamworks, a narrow-gauge engine called Victor was there. Welcome to the steamworks, said Victor. A man named Conductor Junior was also there to help the kids choose which colors they want. Tiago and a little girl named Emma came first. They chose two colors that they would like the best. Tiago chose a light blue and Emma chose aquata green, which matches her eyes. The kids took turns on choosing which color, and the workmen painted their coats in the color that they wanted, and they let their coats dry for a while before they can put it on their kids. When their coats were dry, the workmen helped the little kids put them on, and when the engines came back to pick their kids up, they thought that they looked beautiful. You look as beautiful as your father, said Lydia. Tam and Lydia took their son all over Sodor. He also took them to some engines who were sitting in a siding. These are your uncles, said Lydia to Tiago. Gordy, John, and Harry. And these are your aunts, said Tam. Rebecca, Jane, and Allison. Then 4 little steam engine kids came out behind their parents. These are our kids, Gilroy, Jewel, Johnny, and Hamu. The kids waved shyly at Tiago, and he waved back. Then Tam's driver told him that it was time for him to go to work. Take him around Sodor. I'll see you later, Tam said to Lydia as he puffed away. Come on, Tiago, said Lydia. Lydia took Tam around the island, and then Tam met another little steam engine child. He was green, and he was really young. This is Peter, said his mother. At first, Tiago and Peter were shy, but soon the 2 little engine kids played all afternoon. 2 years have passed, and Tiago was soon old enough to go and explore the island on his own. One day, his mother and father took him to Natford Station to meet someone. There on the platform was a man dressed in black wearing gray pants and a top hat. I am Sir Topham Hatt. You must be Tam and Lydia's son, Tiago. How do you know my dad and my mother's name? Said Tiago. I know all of my engine's names, he said. Later that day, Tiago, Peter, Ellie, and Johnny were exploring in another part of the island when they saw another kid on a bridge. Peter recognized who it is. Taj! It's Taj! Hey Taj, what are you doing? Oh, I'm just exploring. I actually saw a diesel engine, said Taj. Hi, my name is Ellie, and this is Tiago and Johnny, she said. Hey, dudette, said Johnny. Taj said that he saw a diesel. What did the diesel look like? Said Tiago. But just before Taj could answer, a loud diesel horn sounded behind him. He turned and he saw. That's him, the diesel, said Taj. Peter started to tremble. He doesn't look friendly. He doesn't, said a voice. They turned and saw two more diesels named Splatter and Dodge. Oh, so these are steam engine kids, said Dodge. Yeah, they look like animals. Yeah, said the big diesel, growling. Then the roof of his door opened up, and a big mechanical claw appeared. What's that? Said Peter. This is Pinchy, said the diesel. Then he raised his claw, it opened up, and snip and a snap on the bridge. The bridge began to shake and it wobbled, and then, ah! The kids fell and the bridge broke. They all fell into the river below, and the diesels was oiled away. Huh, goodbye, stinkers, said the big diesel. But the diesels didn't know that the kids were still alive, at least that they can float in the water. They floated in the river, and Peter taught them how to swim. They swam all the way to another bridge, the stone bridge, and there they clambered out of the water. Feels good to be out of the water, said Ellie. That was refreshing, said Johnny. I'll race you back. Can't we swim back? Said Peter. That was fun. As he was going down the tracks, Peter met Ellie's brother, Ellison, who was sitting on a rock, thinking. What are you doing? Asked Peter. I was thinking about getting a brain. I want to be smart because I want to know things, said Ellison. Oh, I know how you feel, said Peter. You know, I want to have courage because I'm scared of big engines. I can't help but be afraid of something. Sometimes I wish I was big so I wouldn't feel so small. The two kids then met Hamu, Harry and Rebecca's son. He also wanted to be strong, but he doesn't have any strength, so he's always trying his best to get strength. I wish I was as strong as my dad, said Hamu. All three kids agreed that they wished that only if they had those things. At Tim's sheds, as Tiago was getting ready for bed, he told his parents about the big diesel and the other two diesels that he met on the bridge. That's Diesel 10, said Tam. You should stay away from that diesel. He is none of any of our business. He's a diesel that no steamy likes. Now, Tam, said Lydia, no need to be angry with your son. Your son doesn't know about diesels. Sorry, Dad, said Tiago. I'll be careful. Besides, I don't really know diesels. He didn't really know us, but Taj did. And I didn't really want to tell you. I actually thought I was going to keep it a secret. All right. But right now, it's late. Just get some sleep, and tomorrow is a big day for you, said Tam. Okay. Night, Dad. Night, Mom. That night, as all the Steamies were asleep, a big diesel came to the sheds. The big diesel was named Diesel 10. He was the one who destroyed the bridge, and he was trying to kill the steam engine kids. All right, Pinchy, my little bucket of badness. Time to feast yourself. He raised his claw, and then Diesel 10's claw broke through the roof of the sheds where the kids were asleep. It woke them up. Wake up! Wake up! A monster! Ah! The steam engine kids were terrified. They were all so frightened that they didn't ran downstairs. Instead, they jumped out of the window and they ran off down the tracks. Ugh, those dreaded kids, they got away. Diesel 10 then slicked off, leaving Tim's sheds in a damage. Now the 9 kids who were in the sheds, they actually ran off into the forest. In the woods, there they met Taj. What are you doing here? I got frightened. Diesel 10 also came to his shed and he scared him off too. Well, I think the big diesel's probably gone now, said Ellie. Let's just go back home before our parents start to... Then rain started to pour down and lightning began to rumble. Oh, not more water, said Ellie. Ugh, come on, let's find a place to sleep tonight, said Hamu. Hey, we can spend the night in there, said Gilroy. In there? In that old place, said Peter. Come on, do you want to sleep outside or inside, said Johnny. So the kids went inside an old water mill to spend the night. Taj lit a fire. How'd you do that, said Peter. I learned it. I saw one of the men lighting up the fire in my dad's firebox. All right. Let's get some sleep. Good night, fellas, said Ellison. In the morning, when the engines woke up, Rebecca, Hamu's mother, went into the room and she saw that her son and the other kids were gone. Hamu! Hamu! Tam, Tiago's gone. What? Where did he go? The engines went to Knapford Station. Our kids are gone, said Persa. Our children are gone. We don't know where they are, said Harry. Then Taba and Flora came puffing in. Sir, we can't find Taj anywhere, said Flora. Oh dear, don't worry. I'll send out a search party, said Sir Topham Hatt. All the fathers, search for the children, and females, you do their work. And I will also alert we're at the rescue center, and I'll send 2 old friends of mine to help me in the search. Mr. Conductor and Conductor Jr. Meanwhile, the steam engine kids didn't know how to get home until he met 2 animals, a cat and an opossum. Hello, said the possum. You can talk? Said Jewel. Oh yes, this forest is enchanted. Animals in the forest can talk, said the cat. Who are you? Said Ellie. Oh, I'm Cat. Your name is Cat? Don't you have a name? Well, I'll call you Milo, said Ellie. Milo, I like it. Anyways, what are you doing out here? We're steam engine kids. We got a fright last night, said Johnny, and we don't know the way. We need help getting back to the railway. You see, our parents are steam engines, and we need to get back to them. Steam engines? Steam engines? Like steam trains, said Possum? Yes. Milo and Possum some laughed. They didn't really believe that engines were their parents. It's the truth, said Tiago. Anyways, do you know a place where we can find something to eat? Said Peter. We're actually hungry. I know where there's a garden, said Possum. Milo and Possum led the kids to a big garden. Here it is. Breakfast is served. Woohoo, yay, said the steam engine kids. They started to feast on watermelon, grapes, string beans, and strawberries and other kinds of fruit and vegetables in the garden. Tiago had a mischievous idea. He started to spit watermelon seeds at Johnny, but then Johnny started spitting water seeds back. Then it soon got into a big food fight in the garden. The kids were having lots of fun. But then a farmer saw them in his garden, and he was furious. Get out of here, you pests, he said, raking them, scaring them away with his rake. Get out of my garden. That was a mean, horrid man, said Jewel. Well, some humans are like that, said Milo. Yeah, well, at least we had breakfast. Might as well get on going. I don't know. I don't think my mother's gonna like seeing me like this, dude. Neither will mine, said Tiago. Yeah, you guys are in quite a mess. Well, come on. It's time for you all to get a bath. You better get cleaned up, said Possum. As they were traveling through the forest, the kids know that the forest was really beautiful. The sunlight shone through the trees and the birds sang, and there were even little butterflies that landed on beautiful sweet flowers. Finally, they came to a river next to a waterfall. I've never seen a waterfall before, said Ellie. They had a grand time in the river. Milo and Ellie didn't really want to go in the water, but Ellison pushed his sister. You're in the water. Oh, brother, she said. And Milo fell in the water when he saw a catfish swimming by. Possum and the other kids laughed. All day the engines searched and searched for their kids, but nowhere could they find them. Oh, Tam, I was so worried about you. Had you had any luck? Said Lydia. No, not one single sign of him. And I searched all day. Tam looked out the window and sighed. Oh, Tiago, where are you? Meanwhile, at the diesel works, Theodore Slim received about this 10 missing kids in the newspaper that one of his men told him about. I want those kids here. Find them and catch them, bring them to me, he said to his men in the diesels. Find them before their parents do. Yes, boss. All afternoon, the steam engine kids, along with Possum and Milo to help them, they walked all afternoon, and their legs were starting to get really tired. Oh, can we stop? My feet hurt, said Ellie. We'll stop when we get there, said her brother Johnny. But we've been walking all afternoon. My feet hurt, said Gilroy. Me too, said Emma. I'm so tired I can't even sing. Then something light up in the grass right in front of Jewel. What's this? Said Jewel. Those are just fireflies, said Possum. They're light bugs that light up at night. It was a very beautiful night. The stars twinkled in the night, and there was a big full moon. Ellie looked up at the sky, and she remembered what her mother had said, that her family was like the stars, 'cause we got each other. Emma saw a nice farm, and she thought that maybe some nice people there would let them spend the night. The farmer and his wife agreed, And they also gave the kids some soup for dinner, and they let them spend the night in their barn. But that night, Peter had a horrible bad dream about the mean big diesel. In the morning, everyone realized that Tiago and Peter were gone. "Let's go look for them," said Gilroy. Peter and Tiago were in the woods when all of a sudden a big giant net flew right over them and landed on top of them. They were captured by Theodore Slim's men. As Milo, Possum, and the kids were looking for Tiago and Peter, they heard some barking of some hound dogs, and two ferocious dogs jumped out of the bushes and scared and frightened and chased the kids. But in every way they went, they were all caught into some traps. "No!" cried Milo. The men took the kids into some wagons where the Diesels were waiting for them. They locked them up inside and then took them away. "Let them go," said Possum. But the men couldn't understand her. "Milo, Possum!" cried the kids. "What's gonna happen to them?" said Possum. "Don't worry," said Milo. "We'll get them back." "How? We're far away and we can't catch up to them." "But we can follow them," said Milo. He saw a trail of oil lying on the tracks. "If we follow this trail, it will lead us right to our friends, and we'll get them back," said Milo. "Let's go." The Diesels took the kids to the diesel works where Theodore Slim, Diesel 10, were waiting. Theodore Slim decided to show the Diesels his secret trick on steam engines. He whipped out a guitar and started to sing. His voice started echoing all over where the diesel works. Tiago's eyes, he's turned all googly. He was hypnotized by his voice, along with the rest of the other engine kids. Emma, Ellie, Jewel, and the other kids who were girls weren't hypnotized by his voice because they were tone deaf. Theodore Slim and his men locked the steam engine kids up in the back shed inside some lots of cages. "I want to go home," said Tiago sadly, tear rolling down his eyes. Once everyone was asleep, Possum and Milo snuck into the diesel works. "Psst! Hey kids, it's us," whispered Possum. "We're here to get you out of here." The kids were glad to see their friends. Using the key, Possum and Milo unlocked all the cage doors, and all the steam engine kids, even the ones that were also taken, were free. "This way, through the window," said Milo. Well, one by one, all the steam engine kids escaped the diesel works. When Theodore discovered that all the kids escaped, he was furious. "Find them now! And this time, I'll send Diesel 10 to find them, and this time kill them." Meanwhile, all the steam engine kids were walking in the woods. Then all of a sudden, they heard a horn. They turned and saw a car. It's just a car. Let's just keep going." "No, it's not. It's the men from the diesel works. We ought to go now." "Where do we hide?" "In there. Everyone get in the RV," said Milo. Johnny, Tiago, and Peter went up front. Johnny did the wheel, Peter did the brakes, and Tiago did the directions on which way to go. "Left, right, turn right," said Tiago to Johnny, turning the car in every direction, but the men were right behind them. "All right, guys, throw something at them," said Gilroy. The kids found lots of stuff in the car and threw it at the car where the men were driving. "Hey, I can't see," said the man. "Ah, turn left," said Tiago. "Turn left." Johnny did, and the men went straight into a tree. The kids lost them. They drove into the town of Great Waterton where they got stuck in traffic. Ugh. How long is this traffic gonna be? He said at Ellison. Then they saw the men again. The bad guys, they're here, cried Peter. We ought to go. Oh, now, but the traffic hasn't moved, said Johnny. Then let's run on foot, said Milo. Possum, Milo, and the kids jumped out of the car and ran through the streets of the city, jumping over cars and running through the streets. This way, said Tiago, pointing to where there was a bridge. The kids ran towards the bridge, across it, and over it, and into the countryside. The men actually lost them right away again. Oh, that was a close one. Feels good to be out of there. I'm glad those men are gone. I'm rather tired. Here, there's a water tower. Let's have some water. Suddenly, Ellison heard the sound of a diesel horn behind him. He turned and he saw a Diesel 10. Sis, fellas, we gotta go. Now. Why? That's why, Ellison said, pointing. Then all the kids saw it was Diesel 10. I'm on to you, kids, Diesel 10 called. I'll go for help. You stay with the kids. It's Possum, said Milo. Possum rode on Jules' back, and all the kids ran down the tracks, with Diesel 10 chasing them behind them. Diesel 10 chased the kids all over the island of Sodor. He chased them over bridges, and through tunnels, and through stations. At a level crossing, the gates were closed, but the kids couldn't stop. Instead, they jumped over to the other side, but Diesel 10 just broke through the crossing, and he left it in a bunch of pieces. Emma had an idea. She told her cousins to run ahead, and then, at a junction, she told the junction man to turn the points, and she tried to get Diesel 10 to chase her away from her cousins. Diesel 10 chased Emma until his claw got stuck in a tree. You messed with the wrong girl, said Emma. Then she ran to get help. I think we lost Diesel 10, said Johnny. Ah! But Diesel 10 found them. Other way, said Possum. Run. This way, said Tiago. They turned a junction and Tiago led everyone towards a bridge that was beyond repair. We gotta jump. Jump? No time to argue. All right. Jew and Possum jumped first, and then, one by one, all the other kids jumped. But Tiago didn't. He ran back to wait for Diesel 10 to appear. When Diesel 10 arrived, Tiago said to him, "If you want me, come and get me," he said, as he ran down the tracks towards the bridge. Growled Diesel 10. With all his strength, Tiago bravely jumped the big gap to the other side where Peter was waiting for him. You made it! He cried with joy when Tiago made it to the other side. But when Diesel 10 closed in, he fell right through the gap into the river below. But there wasn't even a splash. He actually fell on a big boat. Off he floated, and that was the end of him. Tiago and Peter ran down the tracks to catch up with the others when Tiago, Peter, Mr. Conductor cried. Mr. Conductor! Junior! Said Tiago and Peter, running towards them. Mr. Conductor and Junior were happy to see them safe and sound. But where are the others? We're catching up to them. They ran ahead, said Peter. When they caught up to the other kids, they were happy to see their cousins safe and sound. Diesel 10 is gone. Oh, that's a relief. I know, and I bet your parents will be happy to see you too. Come on, said Junior. But we can't go yet. We have to get rid of Theodore Slim first, said Jewel. Why? The kids told Conductor and Conductor Junior about Theodore Slim. All right, I'll go for help. You go get Theodore Slim, said Mr. Conductor. Junior, Possum, and the kids found Theodore Slim at the lighthouse by the beach. You are not destroying any steamies, said Tiago. This island belongs to every engine, said Mr. Conductor Jr. And this is Sir Topham Hatt's railway, and you are not being controller of this railway. You have caused confusion and delay. Fine then, said Theodore Slim. Then I won't. I'll just take all of you instead. Get 'em, said Theodore Slim to his men. Then Emma, along with other steam engine kids, rushed in. Steam engine kids, attack! Junior cried. The steam engine kids threw rocks at Theodore Slim and his men and butted him, and they kicked him into a barrel. If you think you won, said Theodore, it ain't over yet till I sing. Then he started to sing. Junior found a paddle, and he tossed it, and Emma caught it and hit Theodore Slim on the head with it. He was defeated. Nobody messes with my steamy friends, said Possum. Then the police came and Theodore Slim and his men were arrested. Ellison's leg was tied to a cage. He tried to get it off, but he accidentally kicked the cage and it tumbled over the edge of a cliff. Help! Ellison! Ellie cried. Ellie tried to catch her brother, but the cage pulled him down into the sea below. Peter, Possum, and Junior tried to help, but the cage pulled Ellison down deeper, and they couldn't reach him. Ellison. Oh, Ellison, said Ellie sadly. Who's going to be the smart one now, said Hamu. Oh, poor Ellison, said Johnny. Hey, fellas, called the voice. Ellison? Ellison! He's alive! The kids ran down to the beach, and Ellison struggled out of the water, coughing and soaking wet. All right, said Junior. Time to go home. But we don't have any courage, or strength, or brain, said Hamu, Ellison, and Peter. You guys do have those things. Everybody has those things, said Junior. But I have a reward for the three of you. Junior gave Ellison a pair of glasses with a glasses case, and Hamu a heart, even though it was a ruby heart, and Peter a medal that says courage. Hey, you know what? You're right, said Ellison. We do have those things, agreed Peter and Hamu. At the station, Mr. Conductor, Milo, Sir Topham Hatt, and the engines were all waiting for them. They were happy to see that their kids were safe and sound again. Tiago hugged his mother and father. We were so worried, said Lydia, hugging her son, tears in her eyes. We had a big adventure, said Tiago. It's a long story, but I can't wait to tell you all about it. The next day was the big celebration for the steam engine kids. Everyone came from far and wide. Even Mr. Conductor's family and Possum and Milo were there. The steam engine kids are no longer lost, said Sir Topham Hatt. Meet the steam engine kids and welcome to Sodor. Meet Hamu, Gilroy, Emma, Taj, Peter, Johnny, Jewel, Ellison, Ellie, and Lydia and Tam's son, Tiago. The crowd cheered, and all the engines whistled with joy. Ellie started crying. "My face is wet," she said. "Those are just tears, sis," said Ellison. "You're crying tears of joy." Tiago looked out at the cheering crowd and at his mother and father. He was happy that he was home and safe with his family again. The end.